welcome to another market vlog. My name's Maddie and I'm the maker behind Flying Fox Crochet, and today's video is really exciting. It's my first ever convention and it's a cat convention. So the event is the Oz Feline Fair, and I'm actually filming this after the event in May because I didn't film a before intro or an outro. And of course I will learn from that mistake, because now obviously I'm going into it knowing how it went. But to put you in the mind frame of how I was feeling before, I had no idea what to expect from this event because it's the first Oz Feline Fair that Australia has had, and I went to the Brisbane event, which was also the first one on the calendar. They told me what the foot traffic was, and I, for some reason, just wasn't expecting it to be as busy as it was. I completely underprepared, but I also want to point out that I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare because I was really burnt out at my workplace and I was working a lot. So I never really had time to market prep. So I think I made a total of around 22 loaf cats or cat things, something like that. I also made my own pattern for a cat hat because I was trying to find one online, but I didn't really like any of the ones that I came across, so I just sort of made my own, tested it out of my cats, it fits them. So I brought one along and I made it in a cute strawberry style, and then I made a whole bunch of others, but I hadn't actually gotten them finished yet. I was really nervous because it was my first 2-day event. It was at the RNA Showgrounds, which is a really big thing for me. I've never really done anything that serious and legit. I don't know, I felt like mad imposter syndrome, what am I doing here? I'm a nobody. So the Brisbane event was on the 3rd and 4th of May, which was Saturday and Sunday, and Friday was actually the bump-in, and I've never done that before where the bump-in is the day before. So that was pretty cool, being able to go in, set up the night before, and then leave it all there and it's all ready to go. I definitely stressed myself out about the whole situation beforehand because I was where am I gonna park, and I don't have a trolley to move around my stuff. I think it ended up being that I was allowed to bring my car inside the building and unpack it, which was really nice, and I set up the thing and put all my cat stuff out on the table, and I sort of realized that it's only enough to just fill the table. I haven't actually made as many as I thought I had in my mind, but in my defense I also didn't know what to really expect at all. I also think by the time the market was, I think I'd left my last job, so it had been about 2 weeks and I was knee deep in burnout, so I was recovering from that. But this market was really expensive. It was $495 for the 2-day event, so I was trying to work out how much I would need to make back to feel comfortable in the upfront cost of it. But it was really hard to make stuff when I was so exhausted all the time, and it was a weird balance to try and find. So I did get to a place where I was I probably haven't made enough cat stuff, but I don't want to have so much and then have the event be a flop. I figured if I run out I can always put out my regular stuff. Surely people who like cats are gonna like other animals. I was still trying to make as much cat stuff as I could. Mostly loaf cats because obviously they've been a popular viral pattern recently, and I didn't make any up until now, so I focused on that and cat hats, or at least making them to the point where I could finish them at the market, so I would have something to keep my hands busy if there was a lull or anything like that. For a month I was probably just non-stop making cat stuff, and to other people they can probably get a lot more done, but the way that I crochet is not super fast considering how long I have been crocheting. That's just how I sort of make stuff at the moment, especially given the circumstances of the time. I thought I was pumping stuff out. I'll show you the footage and you're gonna see for yourself that I didn't bring enough. I plan to come back to it next year. With a whole year of planning behind my belt, I think I'll absolutely smash it. It's gonna be the best time ever because I'm gonna make so much cat stuff. It is officially open, and I am finishing off some cat hats. Hi, how are you guys? How are you? Good, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. I sold my most expensive cat I've got here. to make more of the big ones. And it's only 9:10. 10 minutes in. Thank you. He's been the favourite so far. Hi, how are you? Oh, I followed you guys on Instagram.
Oh, that.
That one? I love Crochet.
Quick before it sells.
I was like, I really don't want it to sell. Can you please go get it because I love it.
We sold one bag for $45.
Yes, I want it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at the little octopus, aren't they gorgeous?
They're so grumpy looking, I love
They're
them.
so cute. So cute. Love them.
Thank you, have a good day.
Me too.
Made in Australia.
Some people have cat allergies and I just like to be sure, but here I'm like, probably doesn't matter that much.
Which my crocheting trouble?
Oh, I started off terrible. Way back when. I've been doing it a long time.
How long would that take you to make?
Those ones are really quick actually, so I think probably half an hour, whereas the big ones are more like an hour if I'm fully focused, but 2 hours if I'm like watching TV or something.
Or something good comes in.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Have an awesome day.
Thank you.
Hi, good, thank you. And yourself?
Good.
Good.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Thank you.
Lots of different animals.
Yeah, I didn't make enough cats. I thought I did, and then I put them all out, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to like fill this out with some of my normal stuff.
That's all right. Animal lovers are animal lovers,
Exactly.
you know, like. Oh my gosh, that's so cute and soft.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
I made it for Earth Day, and then I didn't even get it done on time, so I couldn't post about it until like yesterday.
Oh. I might take your business card. I'm going to be here all
Absolutely.
day going back and forth.
Oh, fabulous.
Your lights are amazing.
Thank
I
you.
love them.
I got really good at them, making them on repeat
Yeah,
for
yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
And then I do have like the little chickens. Did you see them?
Yeah, the Mabel chickens. Yeah. Yeah. I've even got that pattern, but I've had it for like a year.
Honestly, it's like amazing. I can't stop making them.
Yeah.
Once you like get it figured out. I don't like the way that the comb is in the pattern, but she's got a version
Yeah.
on like in a reel somewhere
Oh,
where you
yes.
attach the hook and like you don't have to sew it off.
Ah, nice.
And so I do it that way.
Yeah.
Because sewing is my enemy.
Yeah, it's not fun. I've even tried these and they just look awful. It just look a blob.
Yeah, that was like when I first started.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. I used the wrong hook. I used cotton yarn. I didn't have safety eyes. I used cotton wool balls for like
Yes.
stuffing and it looked like a monster. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna give this to my friend.
It's incredible.
But it's a bit easier now. Like we've got access to plush yarn here in
Yes.
Australia, so
Yes.
I no longer have to make stuff in like stuff
Two
that's not
strands
meant
of
for
acrylic,
amigurumi.
I love the planet one. That's so good.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so creative. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good day. We've got cat hair and everything. Hi, how are you? Good, thanks.
You make these yourself? Yeah. Oh, wow. This is the first one too, eh?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I actually just sold the Eevee that I had, but I've still got a Munchlax and a squirrel. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like do a walk where I actually see everyone. Because like I slept in, so I didn't get here as early as I planned. here is the setup for Sunday. I was able to make 3 more cats because I sold out yesterday. It was hectic. I couldn't really film. This is literally everything I have left. If everything on this table sells, I will not have anything. I also finished my Rainbow Bert the Frog to bring that. I've got Spyro, everyone loves Spyro, and the Umbreon as well. And then I've got some smaller makes. And I found a little mint octopus. I thought I only had the vanilla one, but apparently I made more. So that's what it's looking like so far. I do have more scrunchies. I've got plenty of those. So I'm just sort of refilling those just because otherwise my table looks super empty. And my booth neighbors have like the coolest stuff. I'm so obsessed with the little punch needle coasters and mug rugs. Hello neighbor! Look at these little babies! So adorable. And then we got some cat accessories over here at Lucy & Co. I think that's it, Lucy? Yes, Lucy & Co. Oh my god, how cute is the bee cat? Hello. Some more lovely goods. Delightful. Fabulous. Oh my god. And here is what I have left. I literally have nothing else. This is it. And I got this really fun cat statue so I can show off the cat arts. I'm obsessed. And of course I had to buy some of the other artists' art. So I've got Flossie's art, a little cat clip, and then this froggy cowboy dish. Obsessed. Overall, day 1 was really busy. Once it started, it just did not stop. I wasn't expecting that many people. So the VIPs got let in at 8:30 until 9, which was when it was open to general ticket holders and the general public. I imagine they were able to buy tickets like at the door as well. So I was like standing there looking at people lining up on the street to get in, and I was like, oh god. And I think it was like 3 minutes before 8:30 I made my first sale, and it was a mallard duck, which was interesting because I wasn't expecting my first sale to be not cat related. And then the second sale that I made was actually the biggest cat that I brought. It was a $70 loaf cat because I made it in this giant blanket yarn. That was my first cat item that sold straight away. And it was meant to be like my showstopper item to like bring in attention, and it went straight away, so that was cool. On day 1, I sold like over 60 items. To some people maybe that's not a lot, but to me it was a lot. I think it was around 1:30 where sales dropped off and I didn't really make anything for the rest of the day. So it was like a 4-hour period where I just, like every minute I was making a sale. Another thing to sort of note was that Saturday was actually election day for Australia, so I didn't really know how that was going to affect it. I was like, are people going to be more likely to be out, or will they be less likely to be going to events and things? So it was a nice surprise to have it be so busy. Very overwhelming, but so grateful at how it went. Once I'd sold out of cats, I noticed that there wasn't much traffic at my booth, but keep in mind it's a cat show, so throughout the day there's like events on the main stage, and I was part of the artist alley. It makes sense that there's not always going to be like a steady flow of foot traffic, but there was for a couple of hours, and I was like making things and finishing whips behind the desk, and as I was putting things out, they were selling immediately. Like the cat hats, every time I would finish one and put it on the table, someone would pick it up and be like, my cat would hate this, and then they would buy it. And I'm like, first of all, love that, because Harry also hated it. I could not put one on my own cats to get like model photos because he's too much of a baby. Trixie tolerated it, but another thing was I actually saw at like another booth there that had a whole bunch of cat stuff, everything in the kitchen sink basically, and they had cat plushies, like realistic looking cat plushies, and there was one that was staring directly at me all day, and I was looking at it And then on Sunday I was looking at it, and then at the end of Sunday I ended up buying it because I was like, you know what, this will make a great model for me to put the cat hats on. Honestly, I should have bought it at the beginning of the event, would have made sense, could have had it on display, but I've got it now, so I can do that for the future, and also my online photos. So I just had a look at my square, and on day 1 I sold my last loaf cat at 1:30. I still had some cat hats, but that was my last cat plushie left. So between 8:30 and 1:30 I sold everything cat that I had. And I realized I have to come back and do this again tomorrow. And I was actually, like, I think at like 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to have anything on Sunday. Like, I'm going to sell out of cat stuff, but I'm also going to sell out of like normal stuff. And I almost did. So on Saturday, while I was at the market, I did actually make a mini loaf kitty, and then I hid it behind the booth because I was like, I need to have some cats tomorrow, and it would have sold if I put it out, so I just hid it, kept it hidden. And then when I came home, I knew for a fact I had some cat whips somewhere in the house. I couldn't find wherever the hell I'd hidden them, so I was looking everywhere, found them, but I was so tired at the end of day 1 that I didn't end up like coming home and making more stuff like I thought I was going to. Instead, what I did was I went to bed, and then I woke up really early to finish off some stuff. When I say early, I mean like I woke up at 3:30 in the morning and finish off those cats. So I had a couple more to sell for Sunday, and I had a sign on both days that I put up where it was like sold out of cat hats and loaf cats. So people were aware that I like did have cat things, I just don't have them anymore. And then I had my QR code there because I was telling people like I don't usually do custom orders, but I feel bad that so many people missed out, so keep an eye on my website and like I'll put some listings up, and if you want a cat plushie, like I'll do made to order for that. I usually just like flat out say no to customs or commissions because it's just not something I enjoy doing. I need to get better at future markets. When people ask about customs and commissions, I say no, I don't. I have made to order options though, like things that I actually want to make and would make again. So I think I brought this up in a previous video a while back where I like wasn't sure about it, and yeah, I think that's gonna be what I end up doing. I also fully ran out of business cards on day 1, which I wasn't expecting, and I didn't have any more. People were like, do you have a business card? And I'd point to like my empty business card holder. I'm like, I had some, but I'm sold out of those too. And everyone was like really happy for me that I'd sold out of all my cat stuff, because they'd be like, oh, you got no cats left? And they had like seen me on Instagram and stuff, so that was pretty cool. And I was telling people like, you know, I'm very grateful. It's a nice problem to have, but I wish I'd made more cat stuff. And on day 1, I definitely won't be doing this mistake again. I actually let someone walk off with a $45 cat loaf, and their payment failed, but they had gone by the time I like fully noticed. I don't know if it was actually on their end or potentially my end. I had Square open, and then I think I might have like exited out of the app before it had done like processing. And so the next time I opened the app to do a sale, it was like failed, and I was like, oh, and I double checked, and yeah, there's no payment for that plushie, so I accidentally gave that one away for free, which sucks. And when I went through my inventory, I also realized that there was an orange sparkly loaf cat not accounted for, and I don't know if someone stole it or maybe someone paid with cash and I just forgot to note it down. So what I usually try to do is if someone pays with cash, I put it into Square anyway so that it gets taken away from the inventory, and then at the end of the day I'm not confused about what happened to this item. But it was a very busy, hectic day, things were happening non-stop, so I couldn't really remember either because I'd sold so many things and interacted with so many people. So I think potentially somebody stole some of my plushies. I wasn't totally sure what to expect from day 2 because I didn't have many cat things left. It's also a Sunday, but I figured like the beginning will probably be quiet because everyone will be sleeping in because it's a Sunday. But honestly, like it was probably just as busy as Saturday once it actually kicked into gear. Like I would say maybe the first hour was a bit quiet, but there were still people, and again dropped off at around the 1:30, 2:30 mark, and I didn't really make any sales after that. But it went from 9 a.m. until 4:30 both days, with the VIPs having that extra half an hour in the mornings. Once again, I didn't leave my booth all day. In saying that though, I think I might have, because I remember I walked around and got some like footage of things that were happening. I asked my neighbor to keep an eye on my booth, but I didn't actually like go and get food or go to the bathroom or anything that like I had to do. I was like, I must get content. Content is more important than like being a functioning person, I suppose. So day 2, I sold over 20 items, so definitely a bit more quiet, but still went really well. And I actually had out literally everything on my table at that point. I was like, if absolutely everything goes, like, then it goes. It's sort of my fault that sales were slow because I didn't have things for people to buy. I only had like my big showstopper things left, and those things I have at a high price point because I don't actually necessarily want them to sell. Like my Spyro, I really like Spyro, and the Umbreon, so I have them priced really high, but people would see the price and they'd be like, woo, and then they just thought like everything was high priced. But it's because I usually don't have more than one of those out on the table at any market. But I didn't want my booth looking like completely empty and to miss out on potential sales, because someone would walk past and they'd see like I had an Eevee out and they're like, oh, I love Pokemon, if you had a Snorlax I'd buy it. I'm like, I actually have one under the table. They bought the Snorlax as well. That's when I wanted to have everything out as much as I could, especially like the scrunchies. I have so many of those and I can never put out all of the different colors I have. They got a lot of attention on day 2, which was really nice, and I sold a whole bunch of them. And again, had some discrepancies. There was a light blue baby whale that was like unaccounted for, but I think that one may have been a cash sale that again I didn't note down. Same with a mint mini octopus, because I remember selling that to the person who bought it, but I didn't note it down, so I'm pretty sure they paid in cash. And then I did some trades with some of my neighbours. I traded my mushroom pop fidget for a cat clip from Flossie's Arts, and then I had another neighbour actually buy 2 scrunchies from me, and then she was wearing them at the event. It was really cute. The last cat that I made at the end of the day was a Ferrari. I called it Ferrari because it was a red cat with yellow whiskers and nose. It was originally going to be a strawberry cat, and then I just, as I was making it, I was like, Ferrari. That's funny. I traded my Ferrari with Kath's Crafts for a little trinket dish that has a little frog on it. It's like a sheriff, so he's got like a cowboy hat and a sheriff badge, and he's got a little bum. So all up, if I consider the things that sold that I can't account for, I'm gonna assume most of them were cash sales, but maybe somebody stole. In total, it was 88 items that I sold. Card sales was $2,397. Cash sales was $280. So when I add everything together, cash, card, trades and stuff like that, and if I hadn't actually failed the payment for the cat and if things hadn't been stolen potentially, it was $2,867 worth of sales, which is huge. That's the most I've ever sold, ever, at any event. And I could have done like so much better. I probably could have done double that, I think, if I actually had enough stock. So really cool to know if next time I'm gonna set myself a goal and try to reach that. Although like that's not pure profit, obviously there's a lot of costs involved, so like I can break it down in a way. So the booth fee was $495. I had to buy insurance for it. The insurance was either like $50 for one day, and I had to get 2 days worth and $20 million worth of PLI, public liability. It just didn't make sense to spend like $100 on insurance for one event. So I got a year's worth of insurance, which goes for 12 months. You can use it as many times as you need for $20 million. So it'll cover every event that I ever want to do. And that was $178.63. But I've worked out if I do one event a month for the next 12 months, it's like $14.88 a month per event, and I plan to do like at least 2 events. I did have to pay for parking to be across the road. That was $40.98 because it was like $20 a day. Total square fees, $41.17. There's some other costs. I bought some hot chips for $9. Expensive hot chippies, and I didn't even eat most of them. I bought the cat plush for $50. His name is Noodles, by the way. I got the hair clip, which was worth $14, and I traded that for the $20 mushroom. And the trinket dish was $45, and I traded that for a $50 loaf cat. The failed payment was $45, and then the 3 plushies that I couldn't account for equaled to $75. And then I actually worked out how many tags and pins of the way I put price tags on things. I clip it onto a pin. So that worked out to be around $14.30. I think I worked out my business card cost was $9 because I wasn't sure exactly how many I had left, but I put it into the holder once I bought more and then I counted. So around $9 worth of business cards I handed out. And then I consider the wages for the items that sold to pay myself. So I work out how much time everything takes me to make and then I pay myself that amount. Although lately I have been reinvesting a lot of money back into the business. So I haven't actually been paying myself for a long time, but I did pay myself a little bit from this one, but not enough to actually fully pay myself, like all of the amount, because that is $1,346 worth of my time. My microphone just disconnected. I donate $1 from everything I make to bat rescue charities in Queensland. That would be $88 for this event, which leaves me with like $404.70 left over, and that doesn't actually take into account the materials of the items that I sold. Still a really successful event for me. It's the most I've ever made. Now I'm gonna run through all of the items that sold. I won't say how much for just because it's gonna take me ages just to read through the list, but I will say the cat hats I had for $25. I think I had the mini loaf cats for $25 or $30. And then the big loaf cats were $50, and they were my main thing that I had a lot of. And then I had really big loaf cats, so I had the big one for $70 on the first day, and then on the second day I made a mega loaf cat, and I had that one priced at $100, I think, because it was made with parfait chunky and it used an entire skein, and that cost $18 a bowl. And I had that out thinking, great, I'm gonna have a loaf cat, because people kept asking me what a loaf cat was when they saw my sign saying they were sold out, and I could be like, it looks like this but much smaller, and this could be my showstopper that brings people in. No one's gonna buy it. And it sold like pretty much straight away. Several people wanted to buy it, and then this one lady was like, yeah, I think this one's coming home with me. So I was like, damn it, I can't keep any cats on my table. So let's go through day one, what sold. So we had the mallard, obviously, the extra large brown variegated loaf cat, a sparkly mint chocolate chip loaf cat. I sold that to a vendor neighbor. They were like, no, you need to go buy it now, it's gonna sell, like buy it now. So it's sweet. The next thing was a mini kitty in black, and people kept asking me if I had those, so they went really quickly. And then the Snorlax sold, then a mini kitty in grey, the strawberry cat hat along with the sparkly Eevee that I had, and somebody actually messaged me and has ordered a made-to-order Eevee from me because she missed out. Next was the Paula the octopus pattern, then the sparkly loaf cat in light grey, a sparkly pocket toothless, a purple cat hat, and then a rainbow cat hat, a scrunchie in the colour pickle, a leggy froggy, a scrunchie in the colour pansy, my regular duck, the black cat that has the tail that goes straight up, tuxedo loaf cat. He was really popular, everyone really liked the tuxedo one, they pointed him out first. Navy blue baby whale, the cookies and cream loaf kitty I made, the pesto the penguin, but I think I had it just listed as bird and somebody took it, the fluffy bird. The white mini octo sold, the strawberries and cream scrunchie sold, the red cat hat, and I think I made like several of those while I was there. Grey loaf cat, a black loaf cat, a white mini loaf cat, a loaf kitten that looked like a mushy boy, a baby blue octo. I don't know why my microphone keeps disconnecting, and I honestly have to wonder if it's connecting to like my neighbours that are playing music right now, and if I'm just yelling out all the things that I sold. Then I sold a Bert the Frog, a light grey loaf kitten, then the purple loaf cat, then the blob cat in grey, then I sold the blue chicken that I had, then the red Paula the octopus, the pink chicken, the churro finally sold. I'm so glad. I've had that one for a really long time, and originally I was going to make two and they would be together in like a little cup, but I ran out of yarn, so I only made one, and I've had it for like a year or two, but this little girl loved it. She was like, my churro, you can't have it, I've only got one, to like her sister or something, and she was just like in love with it. Then I sold the rainbow scrunchie, yellow chicken, the yellow cat hat, a white loaf cat, a sparkly loaf cat that I made to look like Oliver from Oliver and Company, the brown cat hat, the orange cat hat, a black chicken, a scrunchie in blue raspberry, a scrunchie in lapis lazuli, the loaf cat I made that looks like Earth. Everyone really loved that as well, and a few people made the joke that it should be flat, so that was fun. Another cat hat in red, a green chicken, a pink loaf cat, the gyoza dumpling, the nugget keychain, an orange loaf cat, a green cat hat, a mushroom pop fidget, a light blue baby whale, and a pocket frog. And then obviously that first day I was missing the orange sparkly loaf cat and gave the grey sparkly loaf cat away for free. Oh my god, my throat is getting sore from talking so much. So day 2 I sold the gyoza dumpling, everyone really liked those. And then the mini loaf cat I made on day 1 that I hid away in black, that one sold straight away. The ghost that I've had since Halloween, the watermelon keychain, the Cheshire cat scrunchie in pink lemonade, another one in amethyst, one of my bandanas in the orange, the Bert the rainbow frog, and a mushroom pop fidget. And that was to 2 kids, and the dad was like, yeah, I'm glad they want something that's the same price so they're not arguing over one being more expensive. And with Bert the frog, some other kid came up to my booth, no parent to be seen, and just went, I don't see how it's a frog, these look like ears, and then made fun of it, laughed at it, and just walked away. And I was like, somebody come get your kid. Stop being mean to my boy. This kid that came along, she really loved him and was like, oh my god, he's so cute. So you're not going to be for everyone, but someone's going to love it. Then I sold a baby whale in light blue, the mega loaf cat in white, the variegated cat with the straight tail, another gyoza dumpling, so I sold out of those. A grey loaf cat, I actually made that one at the event. Someone asked if I would have more cats available, and then they were trying to work out where I would be, where they could pick it up from, and I'm like, look, why don't I just try making one right now, and if you're still around, just check in on your way out, and if I don't have it done, I don't have it done, but if I do, then you can buy it on your way out. And I got it done, so they bought it when they left. And then I sold a whole bunch of scrunchies, so this was when my booth was looking a bit sparse. So I sold one in boysenberry, one in silver, and that was, I think, to my booth neighbour, a mint one and an emerald one, and I think they went together as well. One in melon, the rainbow on a keychain, a scrunchie in the colour powder. They have also messaged me on Instagram and are doing a massive custom order of 4 loaf cats, so they want one to match the scrunchie colour, which I think is really cute. And then yeah, the ones that I can't account for, the light blue baby whale, the mint baby octo, and then I traded the mushroom pop fidget and the Ferrari loaf cat. So I pretty much sold out of everything. I really didn't have a lot left. I think I had maybe 4 smaller items left, which is crazy to me. And it also meant I now have no stock and I'm starting again from scratch. And I have a market coming up soon, so I'm preparing like mad for that. But I got to meet so many people, and I definitely would have enjoyed that event if I was going just to enjoy the event and not even as a vendor. I think someone asked me if I actually even like cats, and I was like, I'm covered head to toe in cat hair. I have cats at home. I literally have worked with animals for 10 years. I was definitely really exhausted after that. On Monday, I could barely get out of bed or move my body, but overall, such a great event. I'm so grateful. And I'm just looking at my spreadsheet now so I can give you a bit of an idea on exactly how much sold of cat stuff, other stuff, and whatnot. Looks like I sold 17 loaf cats, 5 mini loaf cats, 2 loaf kittens, 3 of the cats with the straight tail. I sold 9 cat hats, 1 blob cat. Other items that are not cat related, I sold 34, and I sold 14 scrunchies. I think that count is right. The others might be 36, 37 other non-related cat things total. Before the cat market, what I had prepped, cat hats, I only had the strawberry cat hat finished. The ones I finished at the market, I think on day 1, was the purple one, the rainbow one, 2 red ones, a yellow one, a brown one, 2 orange ones. One of those I made on day 2 and I still have it, and I also made a lime green one while I was there. I also actually sold the pink loaf cat and then had to refund it because she misheard the price and she came back, and I refunded her that, and then it sold pretty much immediately afterwards. And I did have another sort of moment where a young girl really wanted a loaf cat and she couldn't decide, and they were like, oh, you sure, that'd be all your spending money, and do you want to have a look around first and then you can come back? And I could tell that this kid was about to have a tantrum. I just figured, let's diffuse the situation, make it easy for the parents. And so I told them, I'm happy to take the cat and put it behind the booth so nobody buys it, and you can come back around once you've had a look around at everything else and you can let me know if she still wants it, or if she found something else, that's completely fine, and then I'll put it back out on the table. They were obviously very grateful for that, so I'm glad I did that. She came back, and even after seeing everything else that was available at the market, she still chose to take home my loaf cat plushie. And then I have had some custom orders come in after the market, and I still have about 6 orders left, but there was a mini black loaf cat and a grey and white custom loaf cat that looks like her cat. I also made a purple loaf, a light blue loaf. I still have to make a tuxedo one and then another one. I made a brown loaf cat and I have shipped that one out already. There's so many more. There's the Eevee custom I have. When I also include all the sales that I've made from the event, like afterwards, I've made over 3 grand, which is crazy. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to sign up to more conventions. I've already signed up to GeigerCon in June. If you're interested in buying a loaf cat or a cat hat and you're in Australia, I have my website in the description so you can go and check it out. I don't ship internationally, unfortunately. I'm gonna end the vlog here because this part of my neck is starting to hurt a lot. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this vlog, please give it a like and subscribe to see more of me. I will see you next time.